Welcome to Grampy's Lionel Trains. On the workbench today, we have one of my favorite tools, the PE Design E-Unit Jig. This tool has completely simplified servicing Lionel E-units. The jig includes the E-unit holder, the breaker bar, the drum holder, and the plunger holder. Everything you need to make E-unit repairs easy and more precise. On the E-unit, the locking pin needs to release so the unit can be open for servicing. Place the E-unit into the jig and then tighten it down with the thumb screw. Next, position the breaking bar over the locking pin and gently pop it open. If needed, swivel the breaker bar back and forth to make sure the pin is fully released. Once the pin's released, you can spread the sides and remove the single contact with the two fingers. You can then place the breaker bar back in to spread the unit a little further so the drum can be removed easily. What I like to do now is place the breaker bar underneath the locking pin to make sure the pin is fully released, to spread the unit a little further so the double contact with the four fingers can be removed. Next, using a standard head screwdriver, gently work the double contact free from the tabs on the sides of the E-unit for easy access. Then, with a pair of needle nose pliers, come in from the other side and gently twist the contact so it releases completely from both sides of the E-unit. What I like to do is be as gentle as possible in removing the double contact. If you're planning on cleaning and reusing the contact fingers, you don't want to bend or damage them during removal. Sometimes the single and double contacts can be cleaned thoroughly and reused without any problems. Unfortunately, on this E-unit, the fingers are badly worn compared to the new replacements, so these will definitely need to be replaced. The drum is also pitted, which is why this E-unit was not cycling properly. This drum is not worth cleaning, so it also will be replaced with a new one. If the lever on your E-unit is loose, what I like to do is take a flathead screwdriver and place it between the coil and the rivet. Then, using the punch that came with my PE Design rivet kit, I gently peen the rivet to tighten up the lever. It's a simple little trick that works most of the time and can also save you a lot of time from removing the coil, drilling out the old rivet, and replacing it with a new one. When reinstalling the double contact with the four fingers, place it back into the E-unit at a slight angle so one of the tabs on the contact lines up with the slot on the side of the unit. Once one side is started, use a small screwdriver to gently guide the opposite side into position. After both tabs are lined up into the slots on the sides of the E-unit, gently squeeze the sides together to lock the double contact back in place. When reinstalling the plunger, the side should be spread just enough so it slides into place. Make sure the pins line up with the openings on the sides of the unit. Then lightly squeeze the sides together so the plunger stays secure. Now that the E-unit is locked back into the jig, place the plunger holder underneath the pin to hold the plunger open enough so the drum can be installed. What I like to do is gently bend the contact fingers forward so it will make good contact with the drum. When placing the drum in the drum holder, make sure the teeth are lined up correctly so they will engage properly with the plunger. Then place the drum back into the E-unit, lining up the ends of the drum with the holes on the sides of the unit. Once everything's aligned, tighten the thumb screw to hold the drum holder in place. A key step is making sure the locking pin lines up with the hole on the side of the E-unit. If needed, use a screwdriver to adjust the pin so the unit will snap back together easily. Now that everything is lined up, the drum, the pin, and the double contact, it's time to reinstall the single contact. Slide one side of the tab into the side of the E-unit, line up the other side, and then gently squeeze the sides together to lock the unit securely. If needed, you could use a pair of channel locks to help seat it fully, but this one snapped back together perfectly. Time to remove the E-unit from the jig. Remove the plunger holder, the drum holder, then make sure the plunger is moving freely and the drum is rotating properly. Now that you know the plunger's working properly and all the pins and all the tabs are lined up, it's time to put this E-unit back in the train. As you saw while working on this E-unit, the PE Design Jig really makes these repairs easier and saves a lot of time. PE Design is a father and son operation that offers specialty tools for all your train repairs. Be sure to check out their website and their online catalog to see all their tools they offer for working on your trains. That's what this hobby's all about, having fun, enjoying your trains, and most importantly, spending more time running them on your layout. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you won't miss another upcoming video here at Grampy's Lionel Trains. Happy railroading!